Babe, come grab your tablet. I'm live streaming too, by the way. Just let you know. No, you're good, but I'm just letting you know. Good morning. Good morning, my brother. She wants mini pancakes, so we're gonna make some mini pancakes for her. Says if you want to come in here, you can.
Good morning.
You don't have to be shy. It's 1 cup. It says 2 cups to 1.5 cups of water. I'm only doing 1, so it says 2 cups dry mix to 1.5 cups of water. I only want to do so 1 cup dry mix to 3/4 cup water. I'm going to do 1/2 cup of water and 1/4 cup of heavy cream. Good morning, everybody. By the way, if I hadn't said good morning, make sure everybody hits that thumbs up. You know, one of the things that came up last night in our topics is there were some people that, what's up, Jay? Zach? That's me. Mernin. No, I didn't see that. I'll check it out. Oh, update on the glove box. I mean, I was trying to work with you, AH. I mean, I felt bad that I wasn't able to help you because most of us, we haven't tore apart the glove boxes on these new trucks yet. It's just, they're just too new. But, you know, with us, you, me, you sending me pictures, talking to Anthony, and then me and you talking, it looks like that glove box had to be separated in order to get that lock cylinder out of there. That's really bad that they would do something like that to where you have to pull apart the skin of the glove box to get the lock cylinder out. I mean, that's a terrible design. Yeah, it's encapsulated inside the cover, so that sucks, but that's how you're gonna get it off of there. Did we ever get around to flush? No, you just dropped it off. Bruh, we ain't in a hurry to flush the coolant on that thing. We got like 1,000 other things to do, Jay. What the heck? Jay's like, I want it done now. I want it done now. Don't work that way, bro. We got to get some higher paying tickets out of the shop first before we can start doing some of the lighter stuff. Well, one of the things that crossed my mind last night is when we were talking about the whole UAW strike, right? And people wanted more money and more vacation days and all this other stuff. And like I said, I support people getting more, people being taken care of. But what I don't support is shit work, and I don't support, subpar quality. And that's what we've had for years. A lot of people, they talk about, they think they deserve all these extra wages and stuff like that, and all this extra time and people taking care of them. But when you talk to the people that work on the floor, that work at these places, these manufacturing places and these facilities that build these vehicles, they straight tell you the quality of people that's there, and it's not good. A lot of them are on their phones while they're working. A lot of them miss steps as the stuff's going down the line, and it backs up the entire line, and they're putting shit on the wrong stuff. A lot of them have their own internal wars and conflicts with each other. They're fighting in the parking lot and stuff like that. Hell, we had here at the Chicago plants 2 different gangs on 2 different sides of the factory shooting at each other in the parking lot. I mean, this ain't nothing new, man. And then people want to talk about wanting top quality, top tier pay and stuff like that, but you don't have top quality, top tier people working at the place, and it's just another job to a lot of these people. It's not like it was 30 years ago when you'd go to work at a place like this and feel proud of what you're going to. And now it's just a job. It's not the same thing anymore. People's mentality have completely changed, but you want top tier pay and benefits for all that. But yet when we got to spend $70,000 for a vehicle, we don't get a top tier vehicle that goes along with your top tier pay. So I'm not saying it's completely every single worker's fault, but let's call a spade here. I don't really think this is as much to do with the employees as much as it is people higher up that have, if you look into the UAW, oh my God, they've been in the headlines multiple times for extortion and everything else. So let's not make it seem like they're innocent in what they do, because they're really not. Pretty good, how are you? Taking negotiations to make people think that they're getting the best deal while they're padding their pockets, and then telling the workers, oh yeah, this is all we can come up with. Come on. You mean to tell me you don't think some of that's going on? I agree, workers should be compensated, and I want every single one of those workers to be taken care of like they deserve, but at an inflation rate, not at their rate. And I do understand that you have to over-negotiate to get what you want, or get close to what you want, to make up for what you've lost since 2007, but there's more going on here than what meets the eye. There's a lot of stuff going on that we'll never even know or find out about. I tell you what, I was in the I was about to be in the union. I was in the union too, only for a short period of time, a couple times, and I met with the union reps. It's supposed to be a 90-day probation, and then on the 90th day or 91st day, they come out and they sign your card and stuff like that. So the company brought me on board. They said, we're going to pay you $27 an hour probation. This was years ago. And you're going to be our diesel mechanic for all of our trucks. I says, okay, that sounds fair. And then once you go full scale, back in the day, it's like $33 an hour. So I says, okay, I could do that for 90 days, no problem. So I go into this place. They got like 17 Mack trucks. A lot of and they move earth. They excavate. Uh, they tear up job sites, getting ready for new buildings, so they can pull dirt and stuff out of there. They sort the dirt. They sell the dirt. They have a pretty big operation. And I started working at this place, and I got all their trucks up and running in 90 days. All the air conditioning fixed, all the clutch problems, the transmission problems. I mean, I was working, diligently. Start at 5 o'clock in the morning, go home at 3:30 in the afternoon. And I was told that I should not be working on heavier equipment than just the trucks. I should not be working on field equipment and stuff like that, because that's not part of my job. My job is just the trucks. So I said, okay. But they would send me out in the field all the time and be like, hey, this dirt sorter is messed up. There's pulleys that are binding up on it. The belt needs to be changed. The motor's having problems. There's a front end loader, bulldozer or something that's having problems. And they'd send me out to the field working on stuff that I wouldn't get paid to work on all the time, because those guys were considered heavy highway or heavy off-road or something like that, heavy construction. And they got paid about $13, $14 an hour more than me. But what this company did is they brought me in, bribed me with the union stuff, sent me out in the field working on stuff that I wasn't getting paid to work on, and then right on my 91st day, fired me when I came into work. Right after I got all the trucks up and running, all the problems fixed, said, oh, we'll hire Jose over here for $20 an hour, which they did have a helper in the shop, and he'll just maintain everything now that you've got everything fixed. Went down to the union to talk to the union about what happened, and they were like, sorry, can't help you. Oops, can't do nothing for you. Oops, you didn't sign your card this morning. Sorry they did that to you. That was my first experience with the union. Didn't offer any kind of recourse or anything. And that same union, seeing what happened, still works with them today. What's going on? And a lot of these people make it seem like they don't get a lot of their parts and stuff from overseas anyway. We're not getting the best parts as it is. We're not getting the best quality as it is. We're not getting any of that stuff. So I don't understand why people think that the workers deserve the best and we deserve the best. The end user is the one that's going to end up paying for it. We're going to end up paying for whatever happens, and that's a fact. GM ain't paying for it. Chrysler's not going to pay for it. Ford ain't paying for it. You'll see that in the price of the vehicles for sure. Yeah, same truck 5 years ago was under 70K. Yeah. And we have, Jay's got a good point. How come the UAW only represents the big three? Probably because the other companies don't want that bullshit in their organization. If you look at the comment section in the last UAW video, there's a lot of like employees that are in that comment section. One in particular that said, "Dude, I've worked for these guys for years, and they've always screwed people over, no matter what the negotiation is that they come to or something like that. Something's got to be going on up top and not transferring over to the people that they're supposed to be fighting for." So you want mini pancakes. No, nothing yet. I mean, no real problems or anything, but haven't really been looking either. Well, a lot of companies don't want unions in there anyway. The reason is the unions, typically end up dictating whether or not they can and can't do certain things that the companies want the rights to do. If they want to fire you, they reserve the right to fire you without any input or anything like that. If they want to hold back specific training and stuff like that without being fined or something, there's that as well. And if they don't want to send a tech to train him because he's not putting in or he's not showing value in the company and making the company enough money, so they don't want to put their money in that tech to send to training. But with the union, they will legislate and basically put into place that this has to get done. This will get done. You will do this. You won't do that. And companies, they don't like that. And I think some of it is that. Other parts of it is they don't want that mess, that political shitstorm involved with their company. They can get rid of them, but the employees are the ones that would have to vote them out, or that they don't want to use them as a union anymore. I think it's more up to the employees than anything. Well, and who has the deepest pockets. But I think what was the UAW or something was birthed in like 1930 or 1940. I think the first strike was in like 1936 or 1937, and it was at a GM plant. I mean, I think they said they've had in excess of 112,000 employees at one time striking in the history of union. Peter, the prices will go up, and only folks will pay for it. If the consumers didn't pay, then prices will go back. Yeah, I mean, it is how it is, man. It's. I do know Michigan repealed its right to work law, so if a shop there is union, you have to be a member. Huh. Ezekiel ordered dinner for breakfast. I'm just making for the little one so she can snack on it. She likes a little pancake. What do they call them? Silver dollars. I wish I could have pancakes and stuff now, but I've been turning everything down. I've just been doing all low carb everything. It's been working. Makes me a little irritable, but it's been working. And I ended up getting on a what do they call it? A testosterone. The doctor prescribed. What did she prescribe? This shit has been making me feel like more tense and amped, like aggressive kind of. I don't know if it's a byproduct of it or not, because it's supposed to increase your testosterone production. You're supposed to work with your, I don't know if it's your hypothalamus or something like that, to tell your body to increase its testosterone. But it's called clomiphene citrate. Anyway. But now that I've been taking this for a few days, my body feels like more stiff, like I'm more like energetic in the aspect that I feel stronger when I'm lifting things, but definitely more tense, like more irritable. And honestly, it's helped me with, I've been sleeping better since I started taking it. I've been sleeping better, and I feel like, I just feel different. You can tell something's changing, and I don't know exactly what it is. So I've had no carbs, no sugar, no junk or anything. Trying to lose as much weight as possible. Yeah, I've been doing high fat, high protein. I've been feeling really good. No, I only eat um, higher fat proteins. Like last night for dinner, I had a like a 1 pound strip steak, but it uh, but it was the grainy that has fat all through it from Costco. It's the no Prime. Oh my god, it was freaking delicious. One of the subscribers here on the channel, he dropped it off, and it was like 1 pound strips. They were huge. Well, two smaller ones and two larger ones. And when he came to pick up his vehicle, he said, "I got you a healthy treat," and it was just absolutely amazing. I cooked it on a medium-high heat, let it sit 4 hours to get to room temperature, and it was absolutely delicious. And then I had a cup of cauliflower with just a little bit of butter and salt on it, and that was it. You don't have no more powdered sugar, baby? Babe,
Yeah,
you don't have no more powdered sugar? Do you have more powdered sugar?
yeah. We have to refill that thing.
Okay.
That we didn't.
Yeah, Kraples is still around. It sure is. I love going there and getting their ribeye.
Pretty sure. Yep. You go ahead.
Yeah, clomiphene. And then they gave me a estrogen blocker. It said clomiphene citrate, and then an anastrozole. They said take the clomiphene citrate for testosterone production increase, and take the anastrozole 1 time a week for estrogen. What do they call it? Estrogen blocker. Your voice was getting kind of high. What are you talking about? Oh, y'all gonna start saying stupid stuff. My voice was not getting high. I still had safe, normal testosterone production, but it was on the lower normal side. So they want to just get ahead of that. They think it needs to be more. Your voice was getting kind of high. Come on, man. Yes, estrogen blocker. Rich, letting you know high body fat has your body turning into a woman, hence the estrogen blocker. That's not why they did that. Guys, please don't say dumb stuff in this comment section right now and try to get me amped up. It's a sensitive topic to begin with, but if you don't know what you're talking about, don't say stuff or else I'm going to remove you. I don't want other people getting bad information because the lack of information you have. When your testosterone production goes up, naturally your sperm count goes up with it. If you give yourself testosterone that your body doesn't make, your sperm count goes down. Yes, you'll stabilize your testosterone or it'll be high, but if your body's not producing its own testosterone, you don't produce your own sperm. Also, in the effect of doing that, your estrogen goes up. In order for you to block that estrogen, you have to take something or eat a specific way, which cruciferous vegetables, stuff like that helps, and so does taking a supplement. And that's why the doctor prescribed it, because when testosterone goes up, so does estrogen production. And men, we don't need that. So we could try to block as much as we possibly can. That's why they give you a pill to increase your testosterone, but they have to give you something to actually decrease the estrogen that comes along with it. It's not because of body fat. And that may be a side effect naturally somewhere else, but that's not why the blocker is there. So don't say ridiculous things, please. I have a whole separate channel that talks about all kind of hormone stuff and everything else that's not on this channel. I gave up on the channel because it wasn't really going anywhere, but it's still active. You can still go find it. I talk about all kind of stuff, hormones, the pituitary gland, the hypothalamus. I draw diagrams on how it all works, how the body gets signals. I was just never good with following the information. I can teach it all day, but following what I should be doing, I wasn't that great at doing that. But teaching it to people, I was good at. Yeah, some estrogen. Well, probably not the right way to be kidding, guys. This is not the area to kid around about. I've already told you guys that, though. Don't play with me about stuff like that. That's one area I am sensitive in, and I don't like it. So, say what you mean what you say. I'm just being real with you. If you don't like it, you don't have to be here. All right, honey, can you put it away for me? Jenna?
Yes.
Can you put it away for me?
Huh?
Can you put the sugar away for me?
Yeah. Put the sugar away for you. Yummy pancakes.
Tell me when it's enough.
Yeah. That's enough.
There's already butter on it, okay?
Yum, yum, yum.
I just don't like it, guys. It's something I'm struggling with right now. It's an insecurity of mine. I am weak when it comes to that area. I try not to talk about it too much. was not just directed at you. It was directed at everybody that likes talking about weight and things like that, and people putting out bad information. I just don't like it. It's a sensitive topic to some people. Some people have to live that with that stuff their whole life, and you guys think joking around about it is something that is funny, and it's really not. I mean, to some people it may be, but I've struggled with this for years since I got out of the military and I got hurt. So I'm trying to do something about it. The last thing I need is somebody trying to make jokes about it. The other stuff I don't care about. That stuff I don't like. Well, Vise, stop talking about it, okay? Stop. I've already consulted a dietitian. Most dietitians are full of shit. They tell you to have more fruits and more vegetables and all this other stuff. And when you let me teach you something, man. If we want to get into this topic, I can school you guys left and right all day. I'm not just some dumb mechanic that works on stuff and teaches people about things, and that's the only thing I know about. Your body has different ways of reacting to things. People have conditions called metabolic syndrome. When people get into a mode of metabolic syndrome, dietitians don't know how to get them out of it typically, and it's not a dietitian's job to do that anyway. You go sit down with a dietitian and they're going to tell you to have some kind of high carb, high sugar diet, stay away from as much fat and protein as possible. We know that's not really how you heal people. Most people are actually deficient in protein and good fats that actually work with your cholesterol and stuff, good cholesterol and hormone production. Dietitians are fed by a school that's indoctrinated. They have books and stuff that they read out of that they go to school and get taught, and it's the same standard health plate type work that the rest of the country recommends, and we have 70% obesity epidemic. If a dietitian really was able to get to the bottom of what people have issues with, and it's as simple as that, that would have all been changed by now, and it's not. The fact is they're brainwashed, and they are told that they're going to perform these tasks this way and recommend these things this way, and this is exactly how people stay the way they are and they don't get healthier. But if you go to an independent person or a person that's more of a natural path, that's not indoctrinated by the typical system, then you might get further ahead. But to go to a standard dietitian, I sat down with one time and I said, you know, what is your take on somebody that's vitamin C deficient, and how would you go about, you know, with their diet and stuff like that? Would you leave healthy sugars from fruits and berries and vegetables and things like that on there, or would you try to minimize that as much as possible? Well, all that stuff's healthy and stuff, really. Do you know if you have an excess amount, whether it's healthy or not, of glucose in the system, your body won't absorb vitamin C properly? It just won't. It's in competition for getting the inflammatory agent out of the body, and vitamin C is in direct competition with it. So when you try to absorb these things, they don't absorb properly because your body is trying to get rid of glucose. Vitamin C and sugar compete. Well, that's the stuff this dietitian said, and I said, you know, you obviously really don't know what you're operating out of a book, and that's why I don't care to go to dietitians and talk to them, because a lot of times they're indoctrinated. They don't, and most of them are young and don't have a lot of experience, so I just don't go there. I learn and research myself and try to figure things out myself. Problem is, you can learn all day. Some people are great at teaching automotive, but they suck as mechanics. They suck. Absolutely suck. but they're great at teaching. I'm kind of like that way when it comes to learning about this stuff and health and everything else. It's another side of the industry that, or of the world, that interests me. I wanted to be in the health field, or I wanted to be in the mechanic field. Go figure, they kind of go hand in hand. Well, I should say when diagnosing things, looking at things and kind of what's good for your body and not good for your body, what you should be eating, shouldn't be eating. Yeah, the dietitian, I sat down and we were talking about sodium and everything else, and the stuff she was saying about like sodium being bad for you and restricting sodium and stuff like that. I was like, so you do understand that the sodium potassium cross has a direct function when it comes to shedding water and stuff like that. So if you're going to deal with somebody that has excess water on the body and stuff, and you're going to get rid of it, you're going to tell them to stay away from one of the very products that helps the body function to get rid of and discharge certain things. So you don't increase, you increase you stay the same with the sugar and carbs. The body retains the water, you reduce the sodium, and then you put them into a deficiency. How about we reduce the sugar intake so the body can shed water properly and give just enough electrolytes, sodium, potassium, that magnesium, that the body can function properly, and then we shed the water instead of leaving it on the legs and the lower extremities, and then that way they can have some relief with water not being stored on the body. Oh no, it doesn't work. Oh, come on, man. Come on. It doesn't work that way. Okay. There's plenty of PubMed studies and stuff that people can go Google and look up to talk about exactly that. How the theory and how we operate and treat things is completely wrong. Ryan, stop. If you think about things 100 years ago, 150 years ago, 200 years ago, we treated everything in salt. People had excess of 70,000 milligrams of sodium per day. That's all their diet was. That's how they preserved their meat, their foods, everything. And they didn't have the health conditions that we have today. And now we're telling people to barely have 2,000. I mean, I shouldn't say they didn't have the health conditions we have today. I should say that they didn't look like we do today. Yeah, it is. You know, my interests are wide. They're not just in like just cars. What is this? 25% pay increase over 4 years, 40-hour work week stay, and some benefits changed. Is that what they settled on? Did they have a settlement agreement now? Is that what you're saying? I'm not sure if that's what you meant by that or not. Or is that what you're projecting is going to happen? So, I take this every day. This animal stack joint supplement. It's called Flex. Really helps my knees a lot. Clomiphene and estradiol once a week. Well, she sat there and ate that whole plate of pancakes. I made like 20 pancakes, silver dollars. They're gone. She's got her headphones on. She doesn't even know I'm talking about her right now. She was hungry. I think I did a good job. Yeah, I've worked on plenty of upfitter trucks. I had one upfitter, a van come in. I had a van come in and I fixed the guy's instrument cluster, pulled it all apart, resoldered everything. The key to the pancakes really is a little bit of heavy whipping cream. It makes them fluff up a little better. But and heavy whipping cream is there's no garbage in it, so you can make your own heavy whipping cream at home, or no, your own butter out of the heavy whipping cream at home. We've done that as like a family project too. I reflowed the solder connections and stuff in his dash, got everything back together for him because it had went to another shop. They couldn't figure out what was going on. I knew what was going on with it, so I fixed it. And when I was done, he said that he had no lift bucket, and the switch went bad in the dash. And he was like, "There's no way, there's no way. I ain't paying for another switch." You're paying for another switch, buddy. Had to pull his dash and stuff apart and wire a new switch and stuff in for the boom bucket. NTC? No. Nope. I went Fort Sill, Fort Polk. What's up, Joey? Thanks, man. How is the wedding planning? Planning and everything's done. It's just meeting with people and venues and stuff like that. And are you hearing much on the 7.3 Godzilla piston slat? No, I'm not. Appreciate that. Now we meet with the DJs, I think next week. We meet with the DJs of the company and figure out exactly who we're gonna go with. I've done chassis off, cab offs on those as well. So where I take the whole body right off of the chassis and do chassis repairs, chassis reinforcement because of critical areas having failures. Oh yeah, yeah. Me, Ryan, and my business partner. We're all going on a fishing trip. It's gonna be great, man. It's gonna be freaking awesome. I paid for the charters. Ryan took care of the hotel room. He found a real nice, fancy, like some kind of freaking Marriott or something like that. That looks super freaking fancy. And then our other friend, he paid for the flights. Oh, you saved 2.
I can't eat anymore.
You know how many you ate, right?
No.
You had like 18.
But 16.
2, 4, 7, 14. No, I take that back. You had 16. Yeah, you had 16 packs, so I made 18 total. Where are we fishing? We're flying into Tampa, and then we're going to Clearwater, and we're gonna fish out of Clearwater. The first day we're only gonna do a 4-hour trip to stay about 10 miles offshore, And then the second day, we're going to go about 20 miles offshore and do a little deeper fishing and go a little bit longer, 6 hours. Try to eat some good food, have a good time, relax. Not this week coming up, but the following week, I'm flying out to Durham, North Carolina, and we've got classes out there for 3 days. Me and my business partner, and we got classes out there for 3 days where we're going to be learning and stuff. And then so we go for the classes. The next weekend, we fly out again for this fishing trip, and then at the end of the month, I fly out again to go to SEMA for 4 days. So I'm going out to Vegas, staying out in Vegas for a couple days, and then yeah, it's gonna be the next month is gonna be busy, or the next month and a half is gonna be busy. No, we got it, Bob. She's gonna take us, or I think we're all gonna meet there. What's up, bro? Jeremy. Mr. Jeremy Anderson. I almost thought to myself, I wonder if he's related to. My name is going to be Anderson soon. I'm taking her name. Her name is not her. She's not taking my name. I'm taking hers. Anderson. Oh, come on, dog. Boy, why do you gotta be up? We be brothers. Richard Anderson. Sounds good, doesn't it? Richard Anderson. Yeah, true. True, definitely true. What was going on with the piston slap stuff, though? I'm gonna go back to that. Well, yeah, and then they said around where we're gonna be, there's restaurants that will, like your captain will clean the fish for you and everything, and then you can take your fish to local restaurants and they cook it for you. What do you say about that? Oh, I will have to come back. Rewatch. Getting ready for church. Okay, see you later. Later, Gator. Are you hearing much on the 7-3 Godzilla piston failures? Isolated events. I don't really know. The piston failures I didn't really hear much about. And I know not really 7-3 piston failure. I've been seeing a lot of 6-2 stuff from GM. Just freaking rod bearings, just left and right, nonstop. Within like 5,000 miles, the engines are just toast. Have you ever worked on 2019 or newer Nissan Titans? Yeah. The diesels though, not the gas. Diesel ones have issues for sure with the Cummins in it. So if I don't know if you're asking about the Cummins at all, but yeah, I've got a customer with a 19. I've got a customer with an 18. Wait, 18? Was 18 the last year for the Cummins, or when was the last year for the Cummins? No, 18. 18 is 18? 18 and 19? I have two customers with them. And one of them, I think, is one of them's an 18. I thought the other one was a 19. Could be two 18s. But Cummins has a issue with fuel sending unit and turbocharger issues. They put extensions on the turbocharger because of some kind of specific failures they were having. And then the fuel float in the Cummins act up, and then they stop reading completely. And those are not meant to be driven in traffic at all. In town, in Chicago, this guy drives this thing a lot, and he says it's trying to regen all the times, but it can't ever finish regenning because it's always stop and go, stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. Hell yeah, gearhead. That's nice. Just staying with it. That's what I plan on doing with mine. My F-150, when it goes, I'm just gonna put another engine in it. I won't even get rid of that truck. I'll put another engine in it, another transmission in it. I don't care. Henry Ford knew how to bust a union. Well, I was reading, what was it, 1947? The unions basically started forcing their way into his stuff. And I guess he had to start letting them unionize things, but he didn't like it. He didn't want it. He didn't want the unions in his establishment. I was reading the entire history on like union strikes and auto manufacturers stuff all the way back to like the 1930s, and it was like I think I got to the section around 1940 something, and it was saying the unions tried to get into Ford, but Henry Ford was fighting them because he didn't want them in there, but then eventually ended up letting them slowly unionize, like, I don't know, certain stuff or something like that. I think I'm gonna order a new front bumper for the F-150. I'm gonna order a like one of those completely blacked out ones, so it's not so big and bulky and rounded in the corners. It's got the centerpiece, license plate, and everything. It's all made of like blacked out steel, and then it comes up on an angle, and it's sleek. It's got like the cutouts for the lights and stuff inside the bumper. I think I'm gonna do that with that truck. Yeah, they're good and bad for sure. I mean, okay. So what good do I have to say about the union? I was working for Rush Enterprises, and I got a better job opportunity for $5 more an hour, and I wanted to take it. And I expressed that to my supervisor on the floor. He went back and talked to the union. They came back and they said, we all talked, and we find that you have been in good standing with us. You've been in good standing with the union, so we've decided to go ahead and let you go now. But good news is, we're going to pay you for the next 2 weeks. It's just with good employees that want to leave, it's a good thing for us to part that way, and then you can always come back if you want. And they paid me for the next 2 weeks and said, just go ahead and go now. And they said it's in best interest to do it that way because we don't want you being spiteful towards the company or something like that, and like purposely ruining a customer's vehicle or something here, because we've had that happen in the past. So when we hear somebody wants to leave, we just pay them for the next 2 weeks, and if they're good employees, and say, have a nice life. If you ever want to come back, you can come back. And about 7 months ago, 8 months ago, they tried hiring me back. I was going through the hiring process. I went back multiple times, and then I was like, this is really just not for me. So I didn't want to go back to the chaos. So I did what I'm doing now. Can I do my lead frame in my driveway? Yeah, you can. You can. It's a little tedious. It's gonna be a lot of laying there, and you're just gonna have to relax. But you can. I just did one on a gentleman came to me from here off the channel, and he brought his 13 6'2" Raptor, and he had me do his. But they didn't have any factory ones available, so we used a good known Dorman one, and it worked great, no problems.
It's a bubble slime.
It's so weird. It's cold. Why is it cold?
I don't know.
It feels wet.
Because it's slime.
Go away. It's gross.
It's dividing.
Here's the thing, though, Jeremy. Go online or get a hold of me Monday when I'm in front of a computer. When you pull the valve body down to do like the lead frame to take it off and put everything back, do not take every single bolt out of that valve body, because some of those bolts go around the valve body and some of those bolts go through the valve body and hold just the center section apart. My guy, when he did it, he took the valve body down and took every single bolt out of it instead of coming and asking me for help and showing him which ones to take out so he could drop the unit all down as one piece. And he dropped everything out of that valve body down inside the oil pan, and I had to take everything and put the little filters and the check balls and stuff, everything back where it went, cleaned everything back up, put it all back together. And I was like, dude, don't ever do this again, man. Please, please. This could have costed us a lot of money. Luckily, I was able to put everything back. And I said, you know what? I'll just clean it all out and refresh it all while I'm here. I just used the little cheap gray box one or the orange handheld one off of Amazon, and it works on all the Fords I've done. Yep. What Southern Tyrant said, when management and the union can work together, everything comes out great. Sonex does, but then there's also another company that does. Brandon from Performance Transmission, he turned me on to them. I forget the name of them, but they give you a whole breakdown, the charts, everything. They show you exactly where all the pieces go, exactly what all the part numbers and stuff are. I know Sonex does too, but Brandon said this other place is actually better. They go older transmissions as well. I'll have to ask Brandon what it is. And he was like, while we were talking on the phone, he said, type this in real quick. And I typed it in, and he was like, navigate here, go here, and now look at all the different exploded views. You got a map in the lower left that shows all your different parts numbered. On the right is a complete breakdown. Then there's a whole chart over here talking about all the part numbers and what it's called. And then I was like, wow, it's just nuts. What would the channel like to see with my town car? Engine swap, rear LSD, maybe once you're done with it. I started a YouTube channel. Huh. I did on Ryan's car so far, the car in his picture right here. We ripped down the front end, upper and lower control arms. I'm waiting on the steering rack whenever Ryan gets it. That's kind of some of what's holding us up right now. It's getting a new steering rack, new sway bar links in the front. The rear got new upper and lower control arms, and the the torsion, not torsion bar, but what is it called? The Watts link. The Watts link got replaced. Upper and lower control arms got replaced. Drilled and slotted rotors, new brake pads, new calipers. The rear got new shocks, new airbags. It's getting a Duragrip LSD installed Monday. I think we're gonna do the LSD. I got him a set of Monroe shocks because the shocks that he ordered had a missing bushing and washer on top in the kit. So far everything's going good. The next thing is after you let the car sit for a couple days, the chain tensioners, they lose some of their prime and they rattle just a hair on startup. Not real bad. It's like 2 or 3 seconds and then they're pumped back up and they're good and then it doesn't happen again. But if you drive the car every day, you don't ever hear it. If you let it sit for 24 hours or more, then you hear it. Yeah, it's all together so far. So far, no issues. We're getting a lot of you guys. You guys have blessed me with a lot, man. A lot of people come into the business and they don't even tell me they're from the channel because they don't want special treatment. But a lot of my business is from this channel. A lot of people watch me in the Chicagoland area, and I've been blessed being there. Everybody's been coming to see me. Ladies, guys that I never, and they'll start talking about a town car or another vehicle or something they have, and I'll say, hey, by chance, do you watch me on YouTube? Oh yeah, that's why I'm here. I just didn't want to act weird or get some kind of special treatment or whatever, and that's what pretty much everybody says. Yeah, I watch you all the time. The drama videos get a lot of views. Oh yeah, people like that stuff. But it's Jay. The thing about it is, where me and you work there, you don't have to make anything up. It's 100% true. You don't have to make it up. People provide the content for you, which is good. I've heard of a lot of people at Pep Boys getting screwed over big time. Jeremy, oh, appreciate that, man. Thank you for the super chat. Cool. Appreciate that. See you. See you then. Hey, she gotta go outside.
Okay.
Can you let her out, baby? Thank you.
Slime bubbles.
The weirdo. No, Dave, he was leaving. The guy was walking out as he was saying, go ahead and put the engine in, go ahead and put the engine in. And then I talked to my business partner about it, and he said, nah. Monday, we tell this guy to come get his car. We're just not interested in working on it. So that all happens tomorrow. Jeremy, if you need help tomorrow, let me know. I could probably get you pictures of the valve body so you know in case you make a mistake. But it's pretty clean cut and dry. There's nothing hard about it. Jay, with the super chat, you didn't have to do that. I got to pay you anyway. So I don't know why you're paying me. I should probably get off here and do that real quick. Pay him for his week's work. Sucker! Just bought a Toyota. He just bought a Toyota Avalon too. He's got to finish up the Avalon and get out of that Hyundai. Yeah, Jay, that's Ryan underneath you on here. That's Ryan's car that's on the lift in the shop. And then next week we get started on my car, the supercharger. There's some things I still gotta get. I gotta order some. I don't know if I'm gonna start my car next week or the week after. Probably the week after, because I still gotta order the 60-pound-hour injectors. I gotta figure out exactly what I'm doing with the fuel system. I guess the 340 liter per hour fuel pump by itself supports up to 600 horsepower. I'm only gonna be right at about 500. I think right 500 ish, somewhere around there. So I don't know. Noah, you came across what on a Reddit post? No, Jax is still here. Yeah, Ryan met him already. I forgot Ryan met him. He came here. I was like, "You want to meet the dude?" Ryan was like, "I already met your dog, dude." He just laid in his lap. Man, he's a good dog. He just sits there. Locking center caps. Locking center caps for what? Oh, you mean no? I don't. Those rims on that are not. They're not rims that I really care about. You know, uh, they're rims for like a from like a 2010 F-150 or something like that. And I just threw those junk rims with those bigger tires on it on that truck and just said it'll be fine. I got the stock rims out there in the garage still. Um, Locking center caps. If they do, they do. I'm not. I don't really care about like the center caps really all that much. I try to explain to people. I've got like sets of tires, multiple sets of tires with all the center caps missing in a box out in the garage. I just don't leave the center caps on because they steal them in Chicago. They're really hard to get, the OE ones. Oh no, Jax is he's a big baby. He last night all night slept with his head right on my face, and I had to sleep this way. I couldn't even sleep normal because his head was like right here. I was like, dude. I move his face, put his nose like up here, away from my head, and he goes right back over on my face. I'm like, oh, come on, man. Well, looks like they won in. Puppies won in. Suckers. I'll let him in through the kitchen. Hey. Can you walk over here on the carpet a little bit more, please? Hey, come here. Come over here. Come over here. Come over here. Come over here. Sit. Let me sit. Let me sit, babies. Just sit. Come over here. Sit. Come over here. Sit. Sit. Please. Please. You want a treat? You want a treat? Do you want a treat? Do you want a treat? Do you? Do you want a treat? Oh, relax. Barking at me, telling me to hurry up. You want a pre-treat? Come here. Sit. Speak. Good girl. Jax. Be nice. Good boy. Timmy? Oh, you got to pause. You got to pause. You ain't getting any more treats. No, I'm not treating you up like that. Says good puppies. What are you doing? You coming up here? Come here, Jackson. Come on. Come on. He jumps so high. He just boom right off the ground. Right on top of me. Never jokes. Jackson. Hopefully you guys don't say anything bad. Sometimes I do get a little out of hand with, telling stories and cursing sometimes, but I try to keep it as kosher as possible. There's a few instructors on here that say that they do show their class some of my videos and stuff like that, and that they teach them, some of the problems that we go through in the automotive field, and try to educate them that when you become a technician or you get in business, this is something you may run into as well, just like this guy's saying here. He's dealing with it every day. So some of the instructors message me on here and they say, thank you for showing us, kind of what you go through, because it helps us educate other people. Operation Charm, a Redditor set up on a non-profit site of a collection of 50,000. Oh, that's the thing that I just put in and I saved to my desktop. A buddy of mine shared that to me and he said, save this as your favorites on your desktop. So I went to the desktop and I clicked on the star button when I went to that Charm site, and I was looking through all these freaking manuals, OE part numbers, electrical diagrams, everything. I was like, this is absolutely crazy. Yeah, might want to skip the Audi saga in class. Well, some of the customers that come to me, man, I was talking to Jay about this too, and I talked to some of my customers about this stuff, and sometimes that's how people talk to us. Every word that comes out of their mouth has to be a swear word. That's all they know. Yeah, every chair in the house. What are you doing?
Huh?
What are you doing?
I'm trying this thing where you take a straw, put it in your mouth, and then you blow a bubble of slime.
Whatever you take out,
Put it there.
put it back. She was doing some crazy stuff last night. She sat down at the table last night and she took a thing of, what was that? The stuff that you have. It was eye wash.
Mhm.
Is it called eye wash?
No, it's like eye solution.
It's some kind of eye solution. She had like a little clear bottle of it. And she squirted some of that in a container, and then you took a thing of Elmer's glue, right?
Yeah, and
She-
baking soda, and I made it into this slime.
She come here.
Okay.
She took a thing of eye solution, squirted it in a container, and then she dumped a thing of Elmer's glue inside the container, and then you took what was like
A teaspoon of baking soda.
teaspoon of baking soda and mixed it all up, and she came out with this slime that she's playing around with since last night. But if you guys want me to show you how to do this, I'll show you how to do this. Because what you could do with this is detailers will keep the eye solution around, Elmer's glue around, and baking soda around, and they'll make this. And then what they do is they get inside the customer's car and they clean all the junk out of the vents with this, because it will squish in the vents and it will pull all the hairs and the material and stuff out of the cup holders, the vents, and everywhere else, and it will get all trapped in here. And then you can just throw it away. Yeah.
I did the bubble! The bubble trick works!
Ryan's a detailer. He does like really good detailing. His car is like spotless every time he comes over here. Jax, Come here. Come here, buddy. Come here. Oh, your baby. Oh, the babies. Look at it. Look at his ears. His ears are like the half up ears, where they're floppy on just the ends. Let's see here.
It works.
Okay. Be careful, baby. Jax.
I don't know.
Jax. Jax.
I can do it.
He's a little guy too. He's skinny and he eats a lot, but he just doesn't gain weight. And he just eats and eats and eats all day, and he doesn't gain weight. You watching her? She's crazy, isn't she? And he loves Jenna. He loves her. As soon as she gets up in the morning, he comes running down the stairs and jumps on top of her. And if she don't get up early enough, or like at a reasonable time, he goes to her room and tries to open the door so he can get in there and wake her up. He's got a lot of toys too. He's got toys sitting all over the place, but he likes that gator thing right there the most. See that green alligator? Stuffed animal. He's falling asleep. You falling asleep, buddy? Jax? 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 He wants to sleep. He wants to be left alone. Oh. Call him in there, see if he goes.
What?
Call him in there, see if he goes.
Come here, Jax. Come here. Give me an open arms. Wow.
I think he's like being really lazy right now. He's like, I'm comfortable. I don't want to move.
Okay, you don't have to move. Come here.
I'm comfortable. I don't want to move. I'm comfortable. I don't want to move, huh? Let me see those teeth. Look at those clean teeth. Those healthy gums. Just like, Craigslist user. Is Craigslist even around anymore? It's not around anymore, is it? What made you pick that name? I remember I used to be on Craigslist all the freaking time, man. I would buy all my stuff from Craigslist. I'd get on there and look at cars, parts, everything. I'd look for apartments on there.
It's a bubble. It's a bubble. That works.
Yeah, but you also did it with your mouth too.
You can do it either way. My bubble. How fast.
It still exists? I didn't know it still existed. I thought in some states they shut it down or something like this. Here, Preston. Here. Are you in Florida? Because we're flying into Tampa. Flying into Tampa. Oh, you're on the other side. Daytona. Yeah, that's where I did my mid-tour leave, was in Daytona. Oh, God, I found the spot. Watch this. Oh, look at this. Right by his shoulder right here. Look at his mouth. Oh, yeah. That's the spot you can't reach, huh, buddy? Oh, yeah, look at that mouth. And his eyes are closing too. Getting heavy eyed, buddy. Did that feel good? Did that feel good? You're falling asleep. There it is again. That spot. And then he puts his head down and his jaw starts kicking back. Yeah. Okay, guys. I've said good morning. No, buddy, I'm okay. I just had spit go down the wrong hole. I don't know why. What's up from Kentucky? How are you, James? I have cousins with the last name Carroll. Is it Carroll? Am I saying it right, or is it Carl? I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I have cousins with that same last name, but they say Carroll. What do I think of oils Jiffy Lube use? I don't know. You two pups. I'm not sure. I've never got any oil from Jiffy Lube to test. I would assume it's okay. It's got to be okay for today's standards. I have a cousin James, James Carroll, and Christine, and then her mama, my aunt Christine Carroll. She passed away. He's sleeping, passed out. It made your Ford Escape leak. Oiled. I don't know. Then, um, oil doesn't really make vehicles leak. So in essence, um, oil that's synthetic has tighter packed molecules, so it can seep out in areas where there's already seals that are having issues, where conventional maybe won't. Typically, I find 99.9% of the time when people say they had a leak and an oil caused a leak, they already had a previous leak. They just didn't really know about it. Yeah, when I was a supervisor at Jiffy Lube, we had a few instances where they would do all their checks, top, bottom, and everything, and they would call that they were good, and then they would never put the oil in from the top. And I remember one instant in particular was a gentleman that was 22, 23 years old, and he'd been a server in restaurants since he was like 15, 16 years old. And he went to some kind of event where you basically, it's like a server event for restaurants where you compete against other servers. And he was ranked in the top 5 or something of the nation. And he brought his Ford Escort in, wanted oil change done. The guy down low did what he had to do, drain the oil, stuff like that. The guy up top said he put oil in it. He never put oil in the customer's vehicle. The guy left there and made it about 4 blocks down the road, and the engine locked up. We had to send it to a local shop, put a new engine in his vehicle, and I had to pay for a rental for him to drive out to New York, because he was going out to New York to get a new job at a really high-end restaurant that hired him because of his status with just because of how good he was. He was going to go out there, and I think they make like something like $70,000-$80,000 a year minimum at a really bougie restaurant. Haven't used the Jiffy Lube in years after they put wrong oil in a Taurus diesel and locked the motor they paid. I didn't even know they had a Mercury Topaz diesel. Huh. You have a game today, don't you? Jenna?
Yes?
You have a game today, right?
No. No, I don't.
It's just that.
17th, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't have anything today.
What was next weekend?
Um,
Is it on Sunday next weekend?
yeah, it's on the 24th.
No, I thought it was.
Today.
Thought it was today. No. Oh well. All right, guys. I'm getting off of here. We're just talking small talk now. Which what did I have for breakfast? I didn't have breakfast. I fasted. I've been doing that intermittent fasting stuff. So I won't eat until like 12 o'clock. So I didn't do anything. Let's get off of here, guys. We're small talking it. I'll probably have like steak or something for lunch, and that's it. Maybe some broccoli. Keeping it healthy. A couple from Florida visiting in Cali when they were. Who are you talking about? Ryan or me? Yeah, I want to be before SEMA, before the end of October. I want to lose at least a good solid 30, 40 pounds. So that's what I'm shooting for. The rest of this month and the rest of next month. So let's hope for the best. Yeah, I don't have any health problems. I don't have any health issues. I just want to eat healthier. That's all. Good day, guys. I want to get off of here. Take care. Be blessed.